Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and before we jump into what Pulse is, we have to go to the precursors. I know a lot of you are very familiar, this is very recent, but I've got to start with an overview of basically what went wrong and what they tried to change with some Magic product distribution recently. First, Hasbro or Wizards or both, or who knows, decided we gotta sell something direct to the customers. Why are we selling through a distributor? This is stupid. Like, that's not how they do a lot of their stuff, like their Transformers properties, Nerf properties. I mean, obviously they go through a distributor to stock the shelves at Walmart, but a lot of the collectible items especially are sold on their website. And honestly, I heard that like a box of a standard Magic the Gathering product sells to the distributor for something like $40 to $50. The distributor sells it for like $78 to $84 to most stores. And then your store sells it to you for, I don't know, usually between $100 and $130. That means the customer is willing to pay $130. Hey, wait, why is Wizards getting $40 to $50 a box? And by the way, it may be as high as $60. Like, just for the record, the distributor level markup isn't that high, but it's, you know, percentage-wise actually kind of significant. Remember, it's not all a markup. They have sales staff. They handle, you know, payments, transactions, people's credit cards not clearing and putting them in the boxes, putting the boxes in a FedEx truck, etc. So, like, they do something, and Wizards would have to do that themselves if a distributor didn't. So, actually, the distributor's take isn't that high, but it's enough to keep them in business, which means that's money that could go into basically Hasbro's pocket. But somewhat recently, they shut down the direct sales program where they would sell Magic products direct to stores because it wasn't efficient, is I believe their excuse, whether that's true or not. I mean, the widely known excuse is because they were terrible. They wouldn't get stuff out on time, they were screwing up orders, and yeah, it was a mess. Distributors distribute things. They're good at it. It's what they do. Why should Wizards of the Coast do it? So Wizards shut down their WPN member direct sales program to like the tier 4 stores or whatever the heck it was. And then Hasbro comes in and says, yeah, but we have our Hasbro toy shop and that's our own warehouse. And as far as I know, and this could be wrong, Wizards handled their own product shipments separately from the Hasbro warehouse. So, you know what? Yeah, I agree. Shut it down. That makes no sense. But then Guilds of Ravnica Mythic Edition comes out and Hasbro's like, why don't we just sell direct from that? I mean, this is the most collectible item. It has almost no actual, like, practical functional use in standard. Obviously, they are standard legal. Well, some of the cards. But it was, put it in a frame, put it in a binder, trade it, collector's item. I mean, I could see people playing with those cards in their commander deck. But I think quite a lot of people just wanted them for their collection. Like, it's a collectible. And hey, the Hasbro toy store sells collectibles. Imagine that. So it did fit and it did cut out the middleman, and there's almost no additional overhead because the warehouse, the distribution center, the staff, the people who put stuff in boxes, tape it up and put postage on it, it all already exists. The semis, the warehouse, the racks, everything. Like, it made sense to me. I still thought it was greedy and a step in the wrong direction, but it made business sense. And then their garbage website crashed because it's, the collectibles market isn't that big, but the Magic the Gathering community is, and the Magic the Gathering finance community, yeah. So the website crashed and they're like, okay, we don't have the infrastructure. All of this is like local. It goes to local databases. It's probably privately owned servers. It's not some AWS thing. That's Amazon Web Services. It's like one of the biggest, like, it's not going to crash scalable web things. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than, like, if I wanted to host a website and I wanted it to be scalable, where they will propagate it to more of their servers in their server, like, cloud, basically. If it's, seen by 100 people or 100,000 people, it would scale and they just bill me with what I used. That's a proper use for AWS. Now, if you just have 10 of your own servers and they're either rented or privately owned, and that's it, and you're at just, like, some, I don't know, I'd hate to give a name, but some server rental company, and the scalability is, well, we only have so much bandwidth and we only have so many servers and we could expand, but give us 7 days and we could only double it. That doesn't work if your traffic goes up 100 times, and that's probably what it was. It was easily probably 100 times higher than the average day on the toy website. So that was super not an option. It was going to happen again, and you don't buy 50 additional servers, hook them all up, secure them, get them access to the database and all that, to sell a product once or twice or 3 times a year. That's just wasteful and stupid. And speaking of stupid, so would be trying to take their entire infrastructure, database system, and inventory management system and move it all to the cloud just to sell one stupid Magic product. So I don't think Amazon Web Services was an option. Or was it? We'll get back to that. So since they already had Ravnica Allegiance Mythic Edition, the second one, printed and ready to go, I would assume at that time, they were like, oh crap, what do we do? Wait, we sell on other platforms, Amazon and eBay, crap, let's put it on eBay. And that was really nice. I thought that would actually probably be the permanent solution, because eBay has this wonderful program where you just, you can sell internationally, which they are not equipped to do at the Hasbro fulfillment warehouse. They don't do it. They don't want to do it. It's too hard. Customs is a pain. Dealing with bounced shipments and bad addresses internationally is just the worst thing ever. They're just like, screw other countries, okay? Plus, in a lot of shady countries, a lot of your collectible shipments tend to just disappear at customs. Wonder what happened to it. But with eBay, you just use their international shipping program. The buyer pays a little bit more, and you ship it to their international hub in Kentucky, I believe it is. And then eBay will get them all together and just be like, oh, here's the Canadian order, put it on a train, boom, or put it on a semi, and it all goes together. They don't even use private carriers except for maybe the end. But for the actual shipment, like on a boat or plane, it's quite efficient because it's, you know, a full box and it's not just onesie-twosie little items. And yeah, maybe they use FedEx and DHL for carriers, and maybe they use some privately owned stuff. It's just the point is they get it cheap. And then you don't have to mess around with the international shipment. They do like 90% of it for you, which is wonderful. So there you go. They could open up worldwide. They use the same fulfillment center. They just use eBay as the like, I guess, tracking system, order tracking system, whatever. They basically already had a robot to use the eBay listing API to just like dump from their inventory database, and then they just feed the orders in and print postage, and ta-da, it was already set up. So wonderful solution, except the whole thing about Magic products is the customer cannot know how many went out. They cannot know if a second wave is coming, because that went really well with Eternal Masters. And it would be good if investors don't know how many, basically to calculate how many of an individual card exists in case they want to corner the market or buy something out or over control something, or they do or don't want to like buy a bunch of sealed boxes and sit on them based on the amount that exist. They might get leery if they feel that the number is too high, whether they're correct or not. And just nothing good would happen unless, I guess, everybody thinks the number is low, which I don't think would happen. So the number printed, the number in circulation, they want to hide it. On eBay, you really can't do that. I mean, it's obscured a little bit, but you can't completely do that. Also, I'm going to forget to mention this later, but between eBay and PayPal, you lose like 12%, 13%. And that does not scale with the value of the item or volume or anything. It just is what it is. eBay's fees are ridiculous. So people could see that they were altering the listing in real time. They were changing the quantity available and sold, and then they deleted the listing and remade it so that it looked like a new item so that you couldn't tell the amount sold. But people were using like bots to track it. They were just manually checking it every 10 or 30 minutes and putting it into an Excel spreadsheet saying, okay, this is the amount sold. Oh, now they edited it, but we know how much they sold. And they could probably get within 10% of the total amount sold and probably pretty easily calculate the amount left too. It's hard to do that, but it's not impossible to do that. So Ravnica Allegiance, I don't know if they printed too much or if people just saw how much they printed and were brought back down to earth, because they could have printed about 20,000 Guilds of Ravnica and it sold out and we'd never know. And the reason it sold so well is it was propped up based on people thinking that it was really scarce. And then the people thinking it was really scarce made more people want to buy it, and then it sold out at a higher volume than it would have, and then it looked scarce because it sold out. So it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. On eBay, people were like, okay, it's been 2 hours and it hasn't sold out, and it looks like they might have like 18,000 left, and they sold like 2,000 or whatever. I don't know if those are real numbers, but it was about that bad. And then they kept lowering the quantity, which, I mean, I don't think that they took 1,000 boxes and threw them in the furnace. So they were just basically trying to misrepresent it or mislead people. I mean, probably not to a criminal extent, but that is what they were doing. So then it's like, oh, now it says 81% sold, but the number sold didn't go up. Just the amount available went down, but they still physically exist. That's a problem. So whether they printed it at a higher volume or not than the one before it, the fact that it was on eBay and people could see that it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours later, it still wasn't sold out, that concerned everyone. And people are canceling orders. You can even just file a return. You have to allow returns on eBay. You cannot deny them. So all of that, here, have way too much information we don't want you to have. they basically can't sell on eBay after that. It just, they would have to short everything, make it actually scarce, instead of just riding the wave of people thinking it's scarce and then making it be high priced and sought after and scarce. They have to obscure that. The return policy is crap. The 12% fee is crap. Actually, okay, the lowest you can get is 7.8% final value fee and 2.9% plus 30 cents on PayPal. So like 11% almost, whatever. I suppose I have to correct that for legal reasons. It's still, in my opinion, terrible. And maybe they have a special deal with eBay, who knows. But either way, a lot of negatives, they have to move off of eBay. So that is the history. They still, as of very shortly ago, had nowhere to sell their stupid overpriced products that they want to sell directly to the customer. They could do Amazon, but I don't know enough about that to comment on if it would have the same problems as eBay, but I don't know, it probably would. Plus, letting them do fulfillment and they do like individual international, it would be worse than eBay with what I know. So what do? Stop selling Mythic Edition? Yes, that is what I would recommend they do. But they're dead set on it because, well, the first one made so damn much money. I think the reputation is permanently destroyed for the product, and the next one's going to flop almost regardless of anything. But, well, you've probably heard about it. Hasbro Pulse, a new website. It's hasbropulse.com. Not that I'm in any way endorsing it. And they've basically pulled an Amazon Prime or, what is that, Newegg Premium. There's a lot of places that do this. I'll just read their statement. It's about Hasbro Pulse Premium. So Pulse is the website. Pulse Premium is like the membership. It's somewhere between a Costco or what's that other one? Sam's Club, where like you buy a membership just to be able to shop there, which seems stupid, but the prices are so crazy good that people do it. And like it would be between that and like an Amazon Prime where it's free shipping. So Hasbro Pulse Premium is the ultimate status upgrade to Hasbro Pulse accounts. Ooh, status. Oh, I'm going to brag to my friends that I have a Pulse Premium account. And it gives our fans free standard shipping, continental US only, so by the way, they're back to that, throughout 2019 and other epic perks throughout the year, if I could read. What more could a fan want? I could make a whole video answering that question, but let's move on. Fire Mark Rosewater? Okay, we're moving on. Shopping with your Hasbro Pulse Premium status is simple. Just check out using the email address you use to sign up for Hasbro Pulse Premium, and free standard shipping, continental US only, will be automatically applied to your order. If you experience any issues or have questions, please contact us here. So you pay them yearly, monthly, whatever, to have a membership at this place, and then you get free shipping. So after a certain number of orders, you will have made money, or saved money, I should say, on the membership. So very similar to Amazon Prime. Now, how new is Hasbro Pulse? That is the question. According to the Wayback Machine, it was at least registered and sort of almost live kind of in like 2014, 2015, but there were just like crawl errors and no response, or they were purposely blocking the indexing of it. The earliest that they have a snapshot of actual content was early February, so not that long ago. And I'm hearing from everybody else that Hasbro Pulse is a new website. It's just the name must have been picked out quite a while ago, and the website was registered quite a while ago. But I guess it wasn't in use or being developed or live or whatever until very recently. At least that's all the evidence I can gather. Now, if you look at the website right now and just look under just product categories and brands, it's Transformers, Power Rangers, Nerf, Monopoly, Star Wars, Marvel, Fortnite, and Nerf. That's a new crossover. And some other stuff, Hasbro Gaming, like Disney Princess stuff. So, you know, Hasbro properties. And right now, the actual like Pulse Premium membership thing is kind of odd. So customers who made a purchase on HasbroPulse.com between February 15th and February 25th receive a complimentary Hasbro Pulse Premium status with any purchase. I don't know if that was a promotion, if they were effectively beta testers, or if just something went wrong with all of their orders because it's a new website and this was compensation. Not real clear what the case was. But it also says, starting February 26th, so it already happened, Hasbro Pulse Premium is available to customers for a $50 enrollment fee plus tax. And that's it. It doesn't say per year. But then under like the actual perks, it says free standard continental US shipping for the rest of 2019. So it doesn't say anything about a renewal, automatic renewal. I mean, it does say, well, monthly premium only promotions, discounts, flash sales, and contests. So, you know, pretty typical, just additional little cool perks that get people excited to sign up for it. And then, other perks throughout the year at select fan conventions and more. Oh boy. So I would say, yeah, if you have a lot of expendable money and you really are into collectibles and like Hasbro brands, it's probably a pretty good deal. I mean, some of these items would have pretty expensive shipping if they're big. The thing is, like, even on Newegg, where they have the $50 per year unlimited free standard shipping, you've really got to make a lot of orders. Because, I mean, this shipping is usually $5 to $10. So you'd have to make, like, 10 to 20 decent-sized orders just to pay for, like, the hole you dug yourself into by getting the membership for a year. And it's like, yeah, I buy a lot of electronics and video games and, upgrades for my computer and, like, cameras and cables and stuff, but it still doesn't really add up. So I actually don't have a Newegg Premier account or Premium or Platinum or whatever the hell it is. I thought about it, but I'm like, I'll just combine all my shopping together and pay shipping once and make one order every month or something. I mean, I only get paid once a month from YouTube anyway. And this is no Newegg, okay? Like, if you look, I mean, they got some stuff in stock, but it's not, like, that much. So you'd have to be, like, way into the stuff and almost exclusively buy from them. So to me, it doesn't seem like a great idea. I'm just not saying that across the board is bad for everybody. So I kept reading through the terms here, and it actually doesn't auto-renew, which is interesting. So it says users will have to re-enroll in 2020 to be part of the program. Now, the other thing is, what if you sign up in, like, July? Because it seems like they rotate everybody through the year, and we're like 3 months into the year, and it still is only through 2019. So the later you sign up, the less value you get out of it time-wise. That is really stupid. And remember, it's the 48 US states only, not Alaska and Hawaii. So since this website appears to be so new, I am going to suspect that it's hosted on a very scalable, like, will not constantly freeze up and crash every time something hot comes out website. Because Magic the Gathering was not the only product release to crash their crappy toy website. So honestly, I have a feeling they're going to ditch that and just move to this permanently, and they're just kind of doing a phased side-by-side rollout, they call it. So this is the new scalable, stable platform, probably backed by a giant cloud like Amazon or Google or something, that they're going to try to sell the next Mythic Edition on if they can get their crap together and get it tested in time. And that'll be the end of it because they can hide all the information they want. And if people want a reasonable shipping price, they'd have to pay them an additional $50. And then, it's the, what do they call it? The lost or sunk value fallacy or something like that. Well, I'm already 50 in. I got to get my 50 out of it. So I better make, one order per month, or I better make another order. Or instead of ordering for eBay or Amazon, I better go there because I'm already 50 into it. Well, it's not even just that psychologically. It's like you get free shipping now. Like, why would you shop somewhere else? But you would be pressured to make more purchases to get more out of your $50 membership. And that's the exact same trap/psychological scam that Sam's Club, Costco, Newegg, Amazon, especially with Amazon Prime, what they all do. It's, okay, you can get this crazy deal of a lifetime by just giving us X amount per year for a membership. Oh, but then you've already paid for the membership, so you better just exclusively shop with us. So you are paying them money to only use them as a vendor. It's an interesting marketing strategy. Interesting in that it works. It sounds like I'm taking a dump on that whole marketing strategy because it's pretty shady, but at the end of the day, it does tend to save people money. I mean, Amazon Prime will probably save you a lot of money, and under the right circumstances, so will Newegg's one, and so will like a Sam's Club membership. So well-designed versions of it do benefit the customer, so it's not all bad. But in this case, it's so narrow, and it's not like food that you like need, which is what a lot of people buy on Amazon. So I'd still say it's pretty shady. So as I was saying earlier, so this is the new platform they're going to sell the next Mythic Edition on, right? Well, I've been presenting it that way because that's everybody's suspicion, but as of right now, it's not even a listed brand. In fact, Wizards of the Coast isn't even a listed brand, let alone Magic the Gathering. Hell, WizKids isn't even on here. So while it's heavily suspected and it's been allegedly leaked and it's the worst kept secret ever that they're going to start selling Magic products on this website, or maybe not all Magic products, but maybe, who knows. Bare minimum, the highly collectible rare ones, like maybe the spell books, but definitely, obviously, like a Mythic Edition. And I would say, yeah, they almost definitely are. Why wouldn't they? So, I mean, without any direct, actual, blatant evidence or like a press release from them, I think we can still pretty safely assume that either the next or the one after it, Mythic Edition, if they keep going with it, would be put on Pulse. I mean, it's either that or the eBay fiasco, which lost them tons of money and they're stuck with thousands of boxes, or they go back to their crashy garbage website where they had to publicly apologize for how that went. I mean, I'm presenting the two like they're actual options. They pretty much are not. So yeah, I do think we can assume that it will be sold on Pulse, but not 100% assume. I mean, maybe they'll make a special agreement with eBay where they'll stop showing percentage sold and hide the amount sold. I don't believe they've ever done that for anyone else, but Hasbro would have the dollars behind it in the pull to make a simple little template or code change on just like one auction. Or, well, listing, I should say, that wasn't really an auction. But who the hell knows? Maybe they'll just go to mass drop. I mean, like, they could not be planning to put it on Pulse. I don't know. That's just everybody's assumption. So the thing is, Magic products are really heavy, they're kind of fragile, and they're difficult to ship. So in other words, they're expensive to ship, which means that if you don't pay the $50 membership fee, you're going to be paying $249.99 plus shipping. So you feel like you should probably get roped into paying the $50, but then, oh, well, you only bought Ravnica Mythic Edition once or whatever, whatever the next one's called. Well, I mean, you already got 50 into it. You better make another purchase, and well, you're 3 months away. Oh, what else do you like? Star Wars. So it's a little bit of a, I don't know, I hate to say scam. That's probably not the best way to put it. A bit of an obnoxious monetary paradox. How about that? It's an annoying, insidious marketing tactic. But maybe with like the 11%, 12%, whatever eBay overhead gone, maybe they'll mark it down for their site. Where if you're paying shipping, you are paying $250, or you could get it cheaper if you sign up for the $50 per year thing. Or maybe they'll just say you get 10% off your order of any Magic product like this whole month, and then, oh, look, it came out this month, if you signed up for a Pulse Premium account. So then to make one order, it still wouldn't be worthwhile, but it would be close, and then you'd already have it, and then you wouldn't want to lose it because you already had it, and then in 2020 you would renew it. Pretty manipulative, but also pretty speculative. I mean, we'll see it when we see it. So definitely keep your eyes on that website, and it should be really interesting to see what they do, and if this site crashes. I assume with all the problems with their old website that basically there's a reason they made a completely new website when they have well, this is a stretch, but perfectly good existing website. And that's because it isn't perfectly good, it doesn't work, and it crashes all the time when any kind of traffic load comes to it. So what do you think of it? Would you buy products from it? Do you think 50 is too high? Do you think they won't use it? Do you have actual evidence stated by the staff? Like, would you sign up for the program? Would you just purchase from there and that's it? Would you just be happy if the next one launches here, it's the same or lower price, and the website doesn't crash and you actually get your product and that's that? Would that be good enough for you compared to the last two disasters? Or are you like me and it's just not even your product in the first place? And the big question is, what would you guys think if they put standard products on here? If you could just go get a box for $110? I mean, enough products come out in a year, especially with the supplemental ones like, the Conspiracy and draft sets and all that, and Masters and the Horizons and whatever. It would be worth getting the free shipping membership plus any kind of little discounts here and there on Magic products if they would throw that in with the membership. But is that enough to tear you away from your local gaming store? And how big would the price difference have to be? I mean, if they're selling boxes for 100 flat, like, like Channel Fireball usually does for an okay set on eBay. Or if it comes out at like, $125 below the old box MSRP, cheaper than Walmart. And then you're like, I could just go to eBay and we know which sellers sell them for like $80 some. In some cases, the price starts with a 7. And they either are secretly a distributor or for financial and accounting reasons, totally are a different entity. Or they're like a family member in some kind of shady deal. We all know who I'm talking about, and we all know that Wizards really needs to do something about it. Because honestly, I just don't see Hasbro putting up standard boxes for $84.99 free shipping if you give them a membership per year, and then competing on the same level as eBay sellers, which are shifty distributors in all likelihood, or they're just happy with low margins like Channel Fireball is. Relatively low margins, I should say. And then, your local store is trying to still sell them for, $110 a box. Well, that'll never happen. Like, would you actually go get it from them instead if that was the case? Which, I feel like the answer for most people would be no, because support your LGS, unless you're like one of the ones in my area that charges a ridiculous amount per box, and they overinflate their singles prices and purposely don't update them. So who do I buy from? Weren't you paying attention? Directly from a distributor. I'm a giant seller of singles. But if I had to decide, that would be a tough decision. I honestly probably would get them online because I don't support outrageous price gouging anywhere. Support my LGS? I'd say I don't owe them crap, but it's like, it's the place where I play, and I constantly buy like D&D stuff from them, like sleeves, boxes, like all kinds of other stuff. I'm just like any other customer. I don't buy stuff that is blatantly, clearly overpriced. Like, I'm just not going to do that. If it was close, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But it's not, so I don't. If my LGS were to announce tomorrow that they're going out of business and I've got no place to play, I would 100% put the blame on them for putting the prices too high. I mean, they put themselves out of business with those prices. I just said at a certain dollar amount, I'm not going to assume responsibility is what I'm saying. So are you guys in the same boat? Does support your LGS have its limits for you too? Let me know. I mean, what price would make you want to buy from this site, and what price do you predict it will actually be at? I'm curious if anybody has any other details about this, or if you have a contradictory statement from Wizards clarifying that they are not going to sell Magic cards on this website, because I certainly haven't heard about that. Leave basically anything down in the comment section below, and if you didn't hear about it on, I don't know, wherever the hell I said this, probably in the last video, I don't know, I thought I put it on Discord, so. Anyway, they found Lucky's car. It is really far away. My property is still in it, which is good, because I want it back, because it's really expensive and irreplaceable. But they got to drive almost 1,000 miles to go get it, because that's where the people put it. But I also got confirmation it wasn't just abandoned and then they found it. The people who stole it got arrested. And 1,000 miles is about a safe distance you want to be away from me if you steal my property. So that's very lucky for them. But if they basically get extradited back to Wisconsin, I'm sure that's not the correct term. Oh, they better watch out. Oh, I'm going to be at that court case. So anyway, good news all around, except it's going to be a total bitch to go get it. And we have contradictory reports about whether or not they are going to have to pay to get the car out of police impound. I mean, they're the victim of a damn crime, but I don't know, somebody else was telling me, no, this happened to my friend, and they had to pay to get it out of impound. Like, you got to pay to get your own damn stolen car back. The car's worth like $500. I think some impound multi-day plus a tow is like a couple hundred. And I'm not buying my property back. That's bullshit. It was stolen. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'd drive out there to go help him drive it back, but I've got back and knee and hip problems. I can't drive for more than like an hour, so makes it real hard to go to conventions and stuff. So yeah, that's the update on that. As for all the money we raised, obviously it wasn't even originally intended to replace the car necessarily immediately. It was to help Lucky with like travel expenses to get where he was going, and then, you know, like clothes and food and all that while he like tries to get a job where he moved to, and possibly any expenses related to getting the car back, because we were very confident that they would get it back. And yeah, to drive 1,000 miles out with two people and go get a car out of impound, yeah, that's pretty expensive. So mega thanks to everyone who helped out. You are all awesome. And hopefully sometime soon, Lucky will get 100% back up on his feet. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next video.